Hello, my name's Carole. This is my channel, So Carole, and you're joining me today on a Lutterloh version of my channel. Now, if you're a subscriber or you know and you've been in my sewing room before, then you know that I do a hashtag Friday sews. I sew mainly big four. I do independent patterns, providing they're printed, and yeah, I do the odd Lutterloh every now and again. Now, in case you've never come across the Lutterloh system, I'll put a playlist at the end because this is a system that my mum gave me. She bought in the 1970s. It's a pattern drawing system, and she used it a lot early on and then put it aside for many years. So when I started my channel, she gave it to me and said, I'd really like you to, so, you know, kind of use it. So that's what I've been doing. So if you do go back and look at my videos, you'll see that I had no idea what I was doing right back at the beginning, but gradually I have kind of learnt the way of the Lutterloh. The idea is you just use two measurements, your bust and your waist, to sort of draw out this whole pattern. It's kind of magical in a way. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to be working from the supplement number 325. Now, obviously, the system I got from my mum has got 1970s patterns in, so every now and again I get these supplements that come out sort of 4 times a year. This is number 325, which is a couple of years old, I think. But this pair of trousers really appealed to me because I want to replace some of kind of my jeggings, jean leggings that have gone a bit exhausted, shall I say. That to me looks like they are that type of thing. Now, I've made some predominantly tops from Lutterloh. I've made a dress and I've made a pair of jeans, which was all kind of crop trousers, which was quite a struggle to fit. But I thought I'd have a go at these, and it's more for the challenge. Now, on the back it shows what you've got to draw out. So using these diagrams, you draw out on plain pattern paper, tracing paper, your pattern. As I said, I'll put the playlist at the end and you can see I've done more there where I'm actually drawing it out and you can see what I mean. But if you do know what I mean, then it's 2 pieces. How difficult is this going to be? The only thing for me is the fact that there's no elastic showing. It's only a facing. Those chevrons mean it needs a facing, or it is a facing. But there's no zip that I can see. Just folded over. I don't know. I really don't know. I've gone ahead and drawn out the 2 pieces, and rather than put my mind at rest, it's actually worried me even more. I've got the front piece. That looks kind of normal. I've marked the chevrons, which is meant to be the facing. But the back piece is enormous. I have no idea yet how that is going to match up with that. I don't get it at all, and I have double checked everything. So what I thought would be a fun video is if you follow me along making up this pair of trousers. Now, I'm going to use a very stretchy fabric, woven fabric, which I'm told on good authority is like a bengaline. It's really super stretchy, widthways, not lengthways. So I'm hoping that's the right kind of thing to use to make these kind of pair of trousers. So yeah, follow along with me, and at the end of the day, it's 2 pieces. I'm sure I can make something out of it if this doesn't work out. But to me, that looks like it should be denim, so I should be okay with this kind of fabric. So yeah, if you want a fun follow along video, then yeah, you're in the right place. So I've got my 2 pieces, pattern pieces laid out on the fabric. I've actually turned the fabric round. I've got the selvages top and bottom because the stretch was actually lengthways, and really ideally we want the stretch widthways. So I've moved the fabric round a bit and put my pieces on. I haven't done the facing pieces yet. I'm going to cut these out and then I'll go back to the facings. I'll come back to those in a minute. But yeah, there is a bit left over, so yeah, if things go wrong, then I should have a bit to play with. But yeah, I'm gonna get cutting those out. Well, that was a weird fabric to cut out. I've never cut out a fabric like this, where you cut one way and it's really stiff. You cut the other way and it's really easy. I've never come across that before. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, what I did do when I drew the pattern pieces out, because I was so worried about the shape of them, was I did make sure that the inseams matched, and they did. So that bit I know will work right. So I've cut out the 4 pieces, as it were, and now I'm going to think about these facings. One other thing I forgot to mention was the fact that when you draw the pattern pieces out, it doesn't have a seam allowance. So I've actually added the 1.5 centimetres, 5/8 of an inch all the way round. I think I'm going to split this pattern now. I'm going to make some facings out of the same fabric, I think. I'm going to do that while I think about it. I've cut out my 2 facing pieces. I kept them so they were still on the kind of straight of the grain as opposed to the trousers. Right now I have no idea how they're going to work and how it's all going to work, but yeah, best thing to do is to start kind of constructing them and kind of work it out as I go along. This video is very much about me thinking on my feet here. I placed the facings on top, so I put right sides down. I have serged the edges and I'm kind of trying to think how best to do this. I think I'm going to sew all these facings together, almost like a little mini skirt. I think I'm going to do that rather than sew them individually onto the pattern pieces. So yeah, very much thinking on my feet. So I'm going to do that now. Sew these all so it creates like a skirt. One thing I forgot to mention is the fact I always put sticky dots on the right sides of my fabric, especially on fabric like this. And also, if I've got the white ones, it's very good to actually mark right on there and mark that these are going to be the back pieces and the front, because it's all going to get very confusing if I don't mark them anymore. Now I know that this is a strange thing to show you, but I've put together these facings, and what I thought I'd do is actually kind of try it on, because it looked really, really stretchy. So I've got a pair of jeggings on now, so it kind of suits it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a bit baggy, but that's not too bad. So I know that I'm kind of on the right wavelength of this facing. Now I need to kind of put the trousers together, and I think I'll put the facing on last. I also maybe might have to put some elastic in the top for the waistband, but yeah, just thought I'd show you that. Now at the moment I'm doing seams, but I'm not doing any neatening of the seams, because I'm not convinced I'm not going to have to move seams in or out, so that's why you won't see any neatened seams. But there are 2 ways of making up trousers. There's the way where you do the inner leg seam first, then you do the outer leg, and then you slot one inside the other and do the crotch curve. I think I might do it that way, because I think I want the crotch curve to be the last thing I do. Sometimes you can place the 2 sets of trousers on together, right sides together, and sew round first, then the side leg seams. But I think I want the crotch to be the last thing I do. So yeah, I think I'm going to do the inner and outer legs, and then I'm going to do that thing where you slot one inside the other and then do that. Well, this is an interesting look. I've sewn the side, front and back, and I've machine basted the crotch, and yeah, it's right now where you're at that moment thinking, shall I just throw them in the bin? I don't know how well you can see actually because it's so dark, but I have a very saggy bottom here. Even though I think I will put some elastic in the top to hoist them up, I've got kind of Oompa-loompa bits going on here. Funny enough, the legs are too tight. My calves are too tight there, so I'm going to have to release that a bit. I think bring in this. Yeah, now maybe the fabric was just too stretchy, but it's not a flattering look. Like I said, it's that point in the project where you just think, oh, abandon, not doing any more, go in the wardrobe for the next 6 months. But I feel like I want to keep battling with it, so maybe pull in some seams, maybe pull in the waist seam a bit perhaps, let the legs out. Yeah, I have to say, maybe the fabric was just too stretchy. Okay, I feel I'm getting somewhere. I've taken in 1 centimetre down here, down these seam. I've taken in 1 centimetre on the crotch seam, and I think we're there. A bit worried about that bit, but if I said I'm going to put some elastic in, then it could hoist it up. The only thing is, it's got no pockets, no details, which I know, because that's what the pattern was. But what I might do is just pop some pockets on here. I mean, I would wear something long over the top of it anyway. It is a little bit short. I'm not going to have much of a hem on these. And again, the legs do feel a bit tight. They're still tight here, so maybe I'll release some of that. I've released this, but not this, so maybe I'll do that. And I know they're meant to be leggings, but I think if they're tight here, they'll just rise up like that. So that's what I may do, but I'm getting there. I've now finished all the seams. I've serged them all because I've decided what I want them to be. And on the back, I've popped a couple of pockets on. Interesting the way the fabric kind of stretched out as I was doing them, but never mind. Now, of course, I've got to decide on this facing. Because I've reduced all the seams, I'm now going to have to reduce the seams in here to fit it. I'm then going to sew it right sides together. I'm going to sew it on the outside and then flip it and then decide about the elastic. Here we go. I put the facing on, flipped it to the inside, so that's the facing there. I made the facing slightly smaller, so it would just kind of bring in the tummy a little bit. You could use some of that power mesh, couldn't you, if you wanted to, if I had any. Yeah, it is popping up, so I haven't secured it down on the seams yet, so I may well do that. But I can get them on and off, and they stay up. So I might not worry about the elastic. The only thing is the back. Maybe just put some elastic in the back. I'm not sure. I've got the pockets on the back there. Still got the dots on. Don't want to take those off yet. But yeah, I'm for a pair of kind of smart around the house trousers. I think they don't look too bad at all. As I said before, they are a little bit short because they were meant to be cropped, so I might do a tiny hem on them. Yeah, so I'm going to secure those facings down, but I think I might kind of leave it like that. I keep changing my mind on this project, don't I? I have added some elastic. When I was doing the understitching, I thought I'll add some elastic at that point. So you know where you would normally understitch the facings, so it would flip over, you get that little line there. That is where I've attached the elastic. It's very soft elastic, and as you can see, I didn't pull it much at all, but of course now I've got that line of elastic next to the body, and I've understitched so it doesn't flip up. So I kind of solved two problems with one line of stitching. So I'm just going to secure it on the sides and do the hem, and I should be done. So what have we got? We have got a finished pair of kind of stretchy trousers, which I will probably only wear indoors, but they are really comfy and they just look a little bit nicer than kind of wearing joggers. The only thing I would say is I don't really like the fabric. I find it kind of too plasticky for me. But so I would not buy this again. I got it from My Fabrics in Germany, and it was labelled as a super stretchy trouser fabric. But it does remind me very much of a fabric that my daughter's school trousers used to be made of, because it's quite kind of rustly. But yeah, I'm very happy I got a pair in the end. Well, that was a good morning's work. I've now got all the devastation to clear up. But I did get a pair of trousers in the end, and they don't look dissimilar to this. The only thing I would say is this lovely model has stick thin legs, as it's only a drawing anyway. They were meant to be cropped and very tight, whereas I made mine more kind of trousers so I could at least put my foot in and out, because I don't know how she would do that with that pair there. So yeah, so that was Lutterloh 325. I didn't tell you the design number actually. It is design number 4. It did say for stretchy fabric, but of course with Lutterloh you don't get an idea of the stretch. There's no stretch guide for any of these things. So I think maybe my main issue was the fact that this fabric was way too stretchy. If it was a jeans, it wouldn't have had as much stretch and you might have been better off. So what did I learn? I learned that at the beginning, when I held up that crotch, that back piece, and I said it was massive, it really wasn't. So yeah, that's my body. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you've enjoyed this, even if you've got no interest in the Lutterloh system at all. It's been fun to see me struggle along with a pair of trousers, and I will admit, at one point I was going to abandon the whole thing and walk away, but I didn't. I kept going. Because at the end of the day, if you just get a pair of trousers you can wear around the house, it's a win-win, isn't it? Thank you so much for watching, and as I said, I'll put a playlist at the end of any other Lutterloh videos that you're interested in. Just a footnote, I am not by any means selling the Lutterloh system. I have a lot of leggings patterns, the big full patterns that I know I could have just cut out, made and sewn, and they'd have been fine. So no, I'm not selling this system. It was a system that was given to me, and yeah, I just thought I'd give myself a challenge every now and again. So thank you again, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.